In today's video, we'll show you how to properly install a straight cable run using HAAS Stainless Swage stud assemblies, Swage stops, and straight post protectors. The first step when installing our system will require us to drill 3/8 inch diameter holes at each of the hole measurement marks that we previously marked using our marking template. In order to receive the best results, we recommend using a 3/8 inch chisel point bit to drill your holes, since they tend to drill fairly straight and clean holes. Begin drilling with the drill set at its highest RPM, slowly feed the bit into the wood, and begin drilling a little more than halfway into the post, ensuring that you partially back out the drill bit to clear any wood chips. Switch to the opposite side of the post and begin drilling until the two holes meet, making one clean hole through the post. Repeat this process for the remaining posts in your run until all the holes have been drilled. With the holes in your run now drilled, fish the end of the cable through the hole in the end post that you intend to place your Swage stud tensioning assembly. Then slide two straight post protectors onto the cable so that their faces are pointing towards each other and look as shown. Next, insert the cable in through the hole in your intermediate post and slide on two more post protectors so that they are oriented as previously shown, and repeat this process for any remaining intermediate posts in your run. Now, insert the cable in through the hole in your end post where you'll be installing your Swage stop. To install your Swage stop, insert the end of the cable into the Swage cavity of the stop until it completely bottoms out. Open the jaws of your HAAS stainless hand swager and position the swager jaw so that it is flush with the end of the swage fitting and doesn't extend past the swage area indicator mark. Now completely close the handles of the swager and make your first swage. Once complete, open the swager jaws, rotate the stop 90 degrees, and then make your second and final swage on the stop. With your stop now swaged onto the cable, pull any slack out of the cable in your run and fit the Swage stop into the hole on the back side of your end post so that it looks as shown. The next step in the installation will be to install our Swage stud tensioning assembly. To begin, pull the cable tight from the back side of the end post and then use a permanent marker to mark the cable at the point in which it enters the hole in the post. Release the tension from the cable and then make a second mark on the cable approximately 3/4 of an inch down from the first mark by using the hole depth mark on the Swage stud. Using a Tyler tool cable cutter, cut the cable at the second mark that you've made on the cable. With the cable now cut, insert the cable end into the Swage cavity of the stud and make two separate swages at the swage area on the stud as previously done with the Swage stop. Insert the Swage stud and cable into the hole on the post and then slide the Swage stud centering bushing onto the threaded portion of the stud and into the hole in the post. Lastly, thread the hex nut onto the stud and tighten it by hand as much as possible. Now that you've installed the first run in your cable railing system, repeat the same installation process for the remaining number of cable runs in your system. Once they've been installed and tightened by hand, it's important to follow this tensioning sequence to make sure that each cable is holding an equal amount of tension. Use a 7/16 inch ratcheting wrench for the tensioning nuts on the studs, and use flat jaw locking pliers for the threads on the back of the stud to prevent the stud from turning when tightening the nut. Once completed, double check that each cable is holding the same amount of tension in relation to the other cables in your system. If not, retighten any loose cables until all of the cables are equally tensioned. With all of your cable runs now properly tensioned, slide each of the straight post protectors along the cable and into their respective holes. The last part of our straight cable run installation will require us to cut off the remaining threads of our Swage studs and apply the swage stud caps. Using either a metal saw or angle grinder, cut off any excess swage stud threading as close as possible in relation to the hex nut, but be sure not to damage it. Once all of the threads have been cut, lastly screw the swage stud caps onto each bushing. Once completed, your straight cable run should look as shown.